In today's video, we are going to be doing a different kind of a craft project. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Tracy, and sometimes I do some questionable things on my channel, like cutting apart a perfectly good bound planner to turn it into a disc bound planner. Oh, the dangers. I think it'll be fine though. I think it will be fine. Truth be told, I've already done some because I thought my video was recording and it wasn't. So maybe that's a sign that I shouldn't be doing this, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. I haven't punched it, but you can see I've already removed some, but we'll do some more just so that way you guys can see the process. So the reason why I'm doing this is I have been struggling with being consistent in this particular planner. It's a Hemlock Oak Daily. It is beautiful. It is stunning, right? It looks so pretty on my shelf. But I want to use this as a daily memory keeper. Nothing super fancy. It's to serve as a reference for my fancy memory keepers. Plus, it's just to serve as an everyday memory keeper as well, because it's going to house more information than those memory keepers will. Did I say memory keeper enough? I don't think so. Yeah, that's the purpose. I have been struggling with being consistent. There has been weeks at a time where I have not touched this. I have realized that putting this on my work desk for the days that I telework has improved the chances that I use this, but I don't telework every day. And of course there's weekends and days off and things like that, and I just don't use them on those days either. So I figured maybe because I'm not using it every day anyway, and there's a lot of blank pages in between the non-blank pages, that I would try my hand at cutting this apart and turning it into a disc bound system. Now this is close to a junior size, and I like that size. I think it's a nice size. And putting it on disc, I don't have to put the entire book on disc at one time, so I can, make it as small as I want or as thin as I want. Plus I can, bend it backwards so only like this part is showing, instead of like in this book I would have to have it open to write in it. So it takes up a little bit less real estate. Now I do prefer a bound book, especially for archiving purposes, but we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it because at this point I'm just trying to find a way to be consistent. And like I said, for the first quarter, there's so many blank pages in here that it's not a book that I might not even want to archive. So we're going to do this. I will say Plan to Create was my inspiration for this. She has done this several times, so it can be done. I will say some of these pages are glued. So basically, if you can see here, there are signatures. So that's what they call them. They call signatures. I've heard, that's just what I've heard people call them. So can you see like the little, let me take the bookmark out. Can you see like the little scallop? See how it's like scallops? All of those are signatures. And in the middle of each signature, so let's actually go here. There should be binding. There we go. So, you could just cut along the seam or whatever, because I'm gonna have to trim it anyway. But I'm just gonna take this, and because I'm taking the entire book apart and not just taking a few pages out, I'm just cutting the threads. I think I cut them all. Okay, and then it just easily comes out, I think. This one, I don't think I cut all the threads. I think there's one thread. Yeah, there's one thread still hanging. All right, so then they just easily come out like this. There we go. Now, I bought this on clearance last year. This is a 2025 planner. So I bought it midway through last year, so I got it really cheap. Would I do this if it was one I pay full price for? I don't know. I guess if I wasn't using it, there's a good chance I would. I also have another one that I thought I was going to be doing this for anyway, because see, this one is glued. Yeah, this part is glued, so I got to figure out how to do this. I think once I get them all out, those will be easy to come out. But there we go. We have everything right here except for some of those pages that are the ones that are glued to the binding. But see how it looks now? People also do that when they use a lot of stickers and stuff to take out some of the pages to like alleviate the stress on the binding and not make it so thick. I've seen people do that as well. All right, so let's pull these again. So these are the ones I had already brought out, or tore out. So what I did is I don't know if it's the lights or my eyesight. I'm gonna blame the lights. I don't want to blame my eyesight. I refuse to believe I've hit that age. So we're gonna go with the lights. I'm having a hard time when I put it on my paper cutter to see where the actual crease is. So I'm gonna pull a pencil. What I've been doing is just doing like this so I can see it a little bit easier. And then I'm gonna bring my paper cutter. Now, if you have an Exacto knife, you can use that. You can use scissors. I'm just really bad at cutting straight. I mean, even with this, I struggle with cutting straight, but the Exacto knife, I can put a ruler right next to it and it will go like that. I think it just likes to test me. Ooh, not good. That's a brand new blade. I just changed that blade too. That was not a good example, but we're keeping it in. We're not gonna fake it here, which is, I think it'll be fine because I have a big Happy Planner punch. I always say buy the larger ones. This does not have any marks for a junior size, but if you look here, this is the punch, right? And you have the big square thing, but then you have like a little, see where it dips in? That's where the actual punch starts. Well, if you line the paper up, I'm gonna put one sheet in like that, where it is right before the punch is right before the punch on both sides. So it lines up perfectly right there. All right, so it is gonna take off my hours, but that's okay. There we go. But there we go. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of this one signature. And yeah, then we'll start like figuring out how to put this on disc, which that part shouldn't take that long, but you never know. Now change the blade. I think what's happening is, I gotta put these in, I want to flip it, is because there are like holes here. That is what the blade is getting caught on. It's getting caught on those little holes where the threads were. But again, because I'm disc punching it, it doesn't really matter. Or it could, I don't know, we'll see. All right, so let's start putting these in order. I still want these in order. At least it's easy to know which side to punch because of the jagged edges. Hey, wasn't that a song? I mean, a group, Jagged Edge. Everything I say, I can relate back to like a song or something music related. That's how my brain works. I can't remember what happened yesterday, but I can remember song lyrics and music groups and things like that from 10 plus years ago. That was probably sadly close to 20. I guess the older you get, your perception of time is also different. You think everything was just yesterday. Nope, 25 years ago. That's the other thing. If you're new to my channel, I'm very random. And I laugh a lot. Okay, this is this getting full? That is the thing. Sometimes you do have to double check to make sure that your paper is pushed all the way back, because sometimes the little mushroom punch pieces are like, there's pieces hanging out of them. They're just not as cooperative. Let's just put it that way. So you do have to make sure it's pushed all the way to the back and it's not getting hung up on a mushroom punch. Okay. Now there were a few pages in here I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to get out, but we'll do that in a moment. Let's kind of go ahead. Let's see if I have a cover. I think this will fit. It's a junior and it looks like it'll fit. So I'm gonna use that one. All right, so I did take this off of, this was on another planner, but it was like a notebook I don't use very often. So I'm like, I want it on here. So we're just gonna go ahead. I feel very pink. I feel very, very pink. So we wanna go this route. Oh yeah, it works fine. Perfect, okay. I am happy. I never use those. I almost wonder if I should try to remove that. Being I'm in a removing mood, I just never use the pen loop. They're just in my way. Now you do see that this does come in a little bit to the calendar. However, that's fine. That's perfectly fine because I still have plenty of room. These boxes are fairly wide. This cover, by the way, it came on a notebook from Tool, T-U-L, which I believe is at Office Depot, Office Max. I get those two confused. It's Office. I think it's Office Max. They sell them. You get like this and like a whole bunch of notebook paper. There we go, guys. Now this, I did have some dividers, so I can use those. Oh, no. No. Well, I'd rather just wait. Oh, I would love to take that off, but we're just gonna leave it. So yeah, I obviously can put a lot more into there, but you can see how it's gonna work. It's gonna work so good, guys. It's gonna work so good. I don't think I have anything. I have some really pretty scrapbook paper. Hang on. I have this scrapbook paper pack. It says like Born to Travel, which is why I got it, but it doesn't really have that much in here for traveling. But I do have some pretty paper in here that's pink. And we can kind of go with that. Okay. I'll move this one aside for now. These two are really pretty. Actually, they all are. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and size this. I mean, it's square. I don't know why I turned it the other way. But can I get 2 out of it? I don't think so. No. Okay, so I can only get 1 out of each one. See, this is cutting fine. I think it's just because of the other paper that, like I said, the edge is a little bit jagged because of the holes from the, where it was sewn together. That's why it was catching. All right, so then, where's my planner? So I can put like that one there. And it hangs over just a little bit. Does it hang over too far? No, it doesn't hang over too far, but it hangs over just a little bit that I can see the division. All right, so let's go ahead and punch this one. Feels like it needs to go that way. I guess it really doesn't matter. Okay. It was this one that was too short, so we'll just put this one in the front. And it's more flush with the other ones. Or is it? It doesn't look like it. I don't know. All right, where's April? And then No, they all hang over. They're just some hang over more than others for some reason. So I might be able to trim them down a little bit more, but that's okay. We're good for, oh, that one needs to be trimmed. This one is a little too long. Yeah, I think that's fine. So there we go. Now the only thing I want to try to do, oh, that's July, is I want to see, and I want to do this on camera so that way you guys can see the pages that are glued in, like right here. So what I need to do is figure out how to get these out. Now when I do like this, I can feel it cutting. It's definitely cutting. But the problem is I think they're glued. So maybe it'd be better to go like this. Maybe I'm doing about it the wrong way. Maybe I need to go like this. Maybe I need a ruler, something metal to help me leverage it. I'm trying to figure this out, the best way to get these pages out. If I can figure it out, then that'll help you guys out if you want to do this. So I had planned on doing this with a Hemlock and Oak I got that was, the cover was damaged. Ooh. The cover was damaged, so I had planned on doing this to that. So this is practice. Although the cover isn't damaged as bad as I thought it was. I wonder if this is just one where I'm gonna have to do like this. I don't want it to rip. Well, this is a March one, so this is a test. Okay, this is a test. I can't get it, y'all. Is it this? Feels like it's that. Yeah, I think these are gonna have to be kind of more like ripped out. So yeah, that's not done very well. Okay, let's go here. That one just ripped. I do need this one. I have a sharper one. Oh my gosh. Okay, this might be easier, guys. This is sharper. Okay. So now I should be able to get these out because I broke the binding. Unfortunately for me, I'm not using this side. See, March 17th, didn't even use it. Okay. This, I think I'm gonna have to trim. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's trim this very, very gently. Probably should use scissors. I was too scared. I was way too scared. Now what I could do here is use my own blade and go down the track. All right. Go ahead and do May. That made life easier. I wonder if this is part of another signature. I would assume. Okay. Now it's actually really easy. So my beautiful bound Hemlock and Oak daily planner is no more. Here we go. Everything has been removed. Like I said, I love the bound books. I love the way they look. I think they look really good on my shelves, especially after I use them. However, I just wasn't using this particular planner as I really need to use it. And I feel like the one way that I will hopefully use it more is if this planner can be open on my desk every day. So I did this so I can do that. This just takes up much less real estate room to be able to fold it over and only have one day showing versus a bound book that you have to leave open like this. So that was one of the main reasons for my decision. Plus, like I said, the earlier months, I have not been consistent. So it was probably half and half about the days that were actually filled in and completed and the days that had nothing written on them. So I felt like this was probably the year to try my hand at this. I'm not saying this is something I'm going to do every year because like I did say, I really do like the bound books. It's just for this particular planner, I just feel like I have to do whatever I can to increase the chances that I will actually come in here and utilize it. So this took about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes in total to complete, which I don't think was that bad. I did eat breakfast while I was doing it, so I was snacking, and I also had my audiobook playing. So it really wasn't painful at all. What I have here is July through December. I just wanted to go ahead and do the entire thing now, especially because I was already in the mood to do it. So why stop at just 3 months? Let's just go ahead and do the rest. So now all of this is ready to go. And then here is my planner containing 3 months or the second quarter. I did put the intro pages in here as well. I did have to bust out the Crop-a-dile punch. This is a single hole punch. I had to use this for some of the thicker papers because it's too thick for the Happy Planner punch. The Happy Planner punch, they say a maximum of 3 sheets, and that is the Happy Planner thickness of paper, which this is probably maybe double the thickness, and then some of these would be even more than that. So I just used the Crop-a-dile punch because I didn't want to break my Happy Planner one. I also moved over the calendar pages and the future planning pages. I don't know if I'm going to use them, but why waste them? They're not taking up any extra room. So I do have the remaining pages for March in here, as well as the March calendar, and then we go right into April. So this is the rest of March and April. And then my little dividers, I did trim them down just a little bit. They were hanging a little bit too far over. So I trimmed them down, but then we have May And you can see again, it's fine as far as even where the hours are, and it's fine here where the calendar is too. This is more than enough room to, you know, write and complete everything I want to do in here. So there we go, guys. That is my new disc-bound Hemlock and Oak daily planner. We will see if this helps me utilize this a little bit more. I think it will. Fingers crossed. I didn't want to do all this work for nothing. But hopefully this encouraged you to maybe, you know, take the risk and try some new things if you've been itching to kind of change up bound planners, maybe even spiral planners. You can make them work for you. It's just paper. It is just paper. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, press that like button. And if you've yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time. Bye.